Proper Punters, brought to you by CrossBet. Are you ready to level up your punting game?
Welcome back to another week of Proper Punters. I'm here with my man, Tommy Forward.
How are you, mate?
Mate, we're getting there.
Getting
we're
better.
getting there. It's
Gotten over the flu.
Mate, got over influenza. I'm bloody sick of talking about it. I think I've got PTSD from the word cough. It makes me cough. It's not good. Last week, it was like a bit of an almost day for me. I had a few seconds. I think we both landed on our Kobe son.
Yeah, nice win.
It was there's for a few strides, he looked like he was struggling a little bit.
Yeah.
And then I think I tipped Chatty's horse later in the day that it was Mara, a Nisham horse.
Golden Path.
That,
It
just, I think it's put 3 in a row now.
Yeah, impressive.
Showing a bit of form, and you found the last winner, which was always good.
Yeah,
Willado.
J-Mac got us out, which was good.
It's interesting. This morning, weather was absolutely shit house, and it's turned. It's starting to look a little bit better. I've kind of lightly gone through it, not knowing how the track's going to play. Just before we go into that, keep an eye on just on CrossBet. Keep an eye on the hub, the BTFU hub. There's going to be a couple of specials. There'll be some this week, but there's going to be a couple of really good specials in the upcoming weeks in the Spring Carnival. We've got some good things in store.
Beautiful.
But we've got the Rosebud.
Yeah, about time.
Honestly, it was like, when are the good races? When are the good horses coming? I've seen a couple of really good horses trial. We had a few of the good ones starting to come back here. I think the card looks interesting.
Yeah.
It'll be interesting to see how many of them are actually there and what the track ends up.
Yeah. Rail true, good. The amount of rain sort of depends on, will dictate how much betting I sort of have.
Just on about, like, the old weatherman. They're the one people that never get their job right and still get paid.
Easiest job ever, isn't it? 50% chance of rain, 50% chance of sunshine.
It's just unbelievable.
What a life.
What an absolute life. But it's currently a 6. There's a bit of rain. I'm a little bit nervous to say anything on a Thursday.
Yeah.
When it is like this, because you could get a downpour and you end up on a heavy 8.
Yeah,
or
definitely.
It keeps drying and we end up on a good 4. So.
Yeah. I've sort of looked at sort of a soft 5, soft 6.
Yeah.
Not going to be too confident and optimistic and say it's a good 4.
Yeah.
But I don't think it'll be, I hope it's not a heavy 8.
I hope it's not heavy.
Heavy 9.
To be honest, I think the fairest racing, happens on a 5.
Definitely. Yeah.
I don't like when it's 3 and 4, it becomes too fast at times.
Mm-hmm.
And obviously when it becomes heavy, certain horses don't handle.
Yeah, definitely.
All tracks are different.
Yeah.
I think betting on a 5 is usually my favourite thing. Well, that and heavily biased tracks are my 2 favourite things.
Yeah, one or the other.
But all right, let's kick off. We'll keep off with the feature today. We'll go through the last 5 races and we'll kick off with the feature in the Rosebud.
Yeah.
How did you see the pace?
I saw a quick tempo, actually. Astapor coming down from Queensland will want to roll forward. I saw Shangri-La Express resuming for the Gay Waterhouse stable. It led as a 2-year-old, and I assume that they'll adopt similar tactics, just go to the front. And then I saw Brave One. It sat outside the lead on debut. Has since trialled where it's led as well. I think it'll want to be positive. Winning Proposal. Gatsby's was positive in its first preparation. So there's going to be plenty of tempo. And I think the level of intent that some horses want to show first up will dictate how fast they go. But I've got an above average tempo to begin the Rosebud.
It certainly looks an interesting race. Like, you've even got a horse like Clear Proof that won at massive odds on debut.
Quite impressively,
and
too.
I spoke to Chad, I think it was a couple of days after, and I said, wow, like, what a win. And he wrote a few winners that day. I said, well done. And he actually said to me, he goes, it's a horse I had a big opinion of, but I didn't necessarily think it was going to win. But he goes, I did think it would run well.
Yeah, it was impressive.
Yeah, mate, highly impressive.
I thought there'd be more upside. I thought they'd be looking for further distance now with Clear Proof. Staying at the 11.
Well, I think he kind of said he kind of thought it could potentially be like a Guinea style horse in time. So I was surprised that it hasn't gone up in trip, but it has had a bit of a gap between runs.
Yeah, absolutely. I've got Gatsby's on top. The query to me is the map, but I think it's the best horse in the race. The trials have been great. It idled past Brave One in the recent trial. Really impressive. Goes on top, but just gate 8, I don't know what they do from there. Like, if they try and go forward and they put on the pressure, does it slot in? If it doesn't slot in, the 1100 at Rosehill is brutal because they just start turning for the
Straight
first
away.
for the first 400 meters of the race. Or do they just take their medicine and sit back first up, just try and sprint home and sprint over the top of them? I am keen to be against Paulin. I think it's won some heavy tracks performances.
Yeah.
The Randwick track last start was sort of a heavy 20 if the rating scale went up. If the rating scale went up to that level, loses JMac, and I think there's some horses here that have more ability, whilst Paulin has sort of fitness on its side. But yeah, I've got Gatsby's on top. Not sure if I'll play yet. I'll watch how the track is playing.
We're in agreement early. It was a horse I had a monster rap on out of the trials. Everyone knows I'm a little bit of a trial perv and choose Racing New South Wales over Pornhub. But I was ultra impressed. Like the Rosalind Form Star was good. I actually had backed it. I thought it was going to be Wallace Slipper Horse. It was obviously a little bit disappointing in the Pago, but straight after that, straight out for a spell. The fact that McDonald's trolled it, he's been on it every start, and he's trolled it both times in. I think this is a colt that they've got a huge opinion on, and as we know with Chris, he's really good at getting those horses to improve as they get older.
Definitely.
I think trials have been good, like very good. I think he could just be a racehorse too.
Yeah.
And plus, like he won on a 5. I think he will handle his by Snitzel.
Yeah, he's by Snitzel.
So if it does get wet,
dry.
but I think hopefully we do a race on the 5, which will suit him down the ground.
Mm-hmm.
Even the horse, Similia, and like it's come back this prep. It ran second to Iron Hawk. It's like kind of Frank that sort of form.
Mm-hmm.
I think he's a pretty quality animal. I think he will win. I think $3.20 is very fair.
Yeah.
I'm in agreement here. Let's move on to the next.
Love to start the day with that.
Yes, race 7. We have another 1200. We've got a 1200 meter race. You've got Kazoo and Kaboo. Sounds similar.
Yeah.
They look to be the two that go forward. How do you see it?
Yep, I'm with you there. I thought Kazoo and Kaboo, Flindell will have a field day calling that out in front, but I had them two leading. Bubba's Bay, Felix Majestic just in behind them. And then horses like Cavalier Charles and Fender will be out the back trying to sprint home over the top of them if they go too fast. Not a race I'm very interested in, so I'll speak briefly. Horses resuming. Terramata has ability. On my sort of figures and how I do my form, I didn't have much between them. I think it'll come down to sort of who's fittest on the day and sort of who gets the right run. But for me, Terramata was on top. Not too keen to play. How about yourself, Mace?
I mean, I've had a brief look at the race. A little bit of an interesting one. Look, I know Kaboo has one over 1100. He has one over 1200. I do think he's a better high-balling horse over 1400. It's that this style. I think, though, it seems to be a trip that Gay Waterhouse seems to train really well with that 1400 metre. I think a lot of the time those races are won by horses on pace.
Yep.
There's a lot of race, but I think especially, I don't know if there's data. I haven't looked at the data on it, but I just seem to find when I bet into those races, horses that race well over 12, they step up, especially a horse like her, and they're quite hard to beat over those trips.
Yeah.
I think his trial was definitely, like, it was a pass mark. I think it was similar to what you said.
Mm-hmm.
Wouldn't say I was over the moon the back. He's definitely a horse that's had his issues, but he also looked like he was going to be well above average.
Yeah.
And I do think he goes better at Rosehill than he does Randwick. So I wouldn't be surprised to see him potentially win. Kazoo was clearly disappointing. I think had some issues last start. Can bounce back. Not a race I'll be playing in. Can't suggest a bet at this point.
Yep, too easy. Let's move on.
We move on to race 8.
Yeah.
We've got a 1400 metre race.
Yeah, beautiful.
You and I are going to have a little bit of a difference of opinion here. Yeah. Let's go through the speed first.
Yeah. Looks just one out-and-out leader here. Amel Victorious from the Bjorn Baker stable has led at all its starts. I think they'll adopt the same tactics and go straight to the front from a good draw. Hinged will want to be positive. Tom Kidden, gate 1. Don't know what they want to do. First up, 1400. I'm sure they've got bigger targets this preparation.
Yeah.
Do they want to sit so close to the speed? I'm not sure. I think they'll just naturally find a position sort of 2 pairs back, sort of on the fence. And then you've got horses such as Francesco Guardi, Robusto from 13 will want to be back. Chorlton Lane will be off midfield. But yeah, the map looks pretty straightforward for Amel Victorious. Like the runs last preparation, like the way it won. It's on top for me over Tom Kidden, who I think will be a better horse over 2,400 metres. Has been gelded, which has sort of attracted punters. And the recent trial, as Macey's going to bring up, was unbelievable.
Yeah, I wasn't sure if I was on Racing New South Wales or RedTube. It was fantastic. He's always been a horse that's had very good ability. He's one that our good friend Nash has given a sore back a couple of times, and he's also ridden a peach as well. But this is a horse. He's like genuine Group 1 horse.
Yeah.
Something with horses I'm finding around that age 3 to 4, sometimes they can show better tactical speed over shorter trips. Sometimes as they get older. And the fact that he's been gelded, it could be a new horse.
Yeah, definitely.
His best
wonders.
can definitely, and the fact that he's first up over 1,400, the fact that he's got J-Mac booked, it just seems to me that they're like, this is a race that we can win and get his confidence up and then go on to win some bigger races later in the spring.
I mean, he's in the Caulfield Cup as a chance. Big ambitions from the stable. They definitely think high of the horse.
Yeah, definitely.
The Spring Champion stakes that it won, its Group 1, was unreal, phenomenal, absorbed a high pressure, kicked off him. That was over 2,000. Gelding could be the difference for this horse, but last preparation, it was sort of flat-footed until it found a mile and beyond. And I just think the 1,400 might be a touch sharp.
Just,
for the horse.
Know what, though? That was when he went 1,200, 1,400. I just think 1,400 first up, I think he, and having his 2 stone lighter.
Yeah.
I could be wrong.
Yeah.
I have a feeling that this horse is come back better.
Yeah.
And the booking of J-Mac is considerable.
Yeah, it's always big when he rides for Godolphin.
Yeah, you definitely, he would have had his pick there. Now, we've got to make mention of a horse we're both really keen on it with half the world, Chorlton Lane.
Yeah.
Definitely disappointing last start. Didn't probably find the best part of the track, but has trialled between, looks to have trialled well. I'll probably back Tom Kitten. He'll knock me off and I'll hate life. But I just think you definitely, one thing that I was told by multiple punters, the one thing I've learned is if you like a horse one start, you should always forgive them to run.
Mm-hmm.
So I'll definitely be wary of the old Chorlton Lane. I'll probably back Tom Kitten and I'll probably save on him if he looks well. But they're the two for me there.
Beautiful.
We move on to race 9, 1,900 metre race. Love a good semi-staying race.
Yeah.
What's the pace look like, big fella?
Not too much. I've got Monarch's Bray finding the front. I am Empire. Will want to be outside it. Masquerade from 9. It'll want to be positive. I thought it ran well last start. They want to push forward again. And then Anotis, Monfelicity will get a soft run from 2. Methusalem off a nice win last start. It'll want to find a positive position from gate 3, and then there'll be plenty out the back. Again, not too much speed, but these staying races can put up weird tempos if something wants to take off. That's found sort of a 3 wide no cover line. They might just sort of take off and find the front.
Yeah.
Didn't really have too strong an opinion here. A couple horses coming off some forgive runs, like Unanimous pulled out last start, something amiss. Masquerade, it ran well last start, I thought. Anotis coming off a nice win last start. I thought it was suited. Some of its form prior to that win doesn't stack up here. And I think if it gets a less sympathetic track, it'll sort of rebound back to where its level was. Methusalem, really nice. Like you said 2 weeks ago, gave the push for the lightweight, blinkers on. Waller Runner, it ran well. Got tempo to suit. Not sure if it'll get that similar tempo. I just kind of had a few horses here that were coming off some forgive runs and some it was hard to line the form up. So I've got Masquerade on top from Anotis, but I really just didn't have a strong opinion. How about yourself, Mace?
Mate, this will be that race where I walk out the front and go stretch my legs and get some fresh air. What time is it?
4:20?
Yeah, just before the last. Just getting ready for the last. As I said, it's that moment in the day where I'm either breathing it in, going, let's just hold on to the lead, or going, how the fuck do I get out?
Yeah.
And like I said, let's hope that we're already winning. So I think there could be a couple of decent little bets on the card, which we'll get to in a little bit.
Beautiful. Love it.
Yeah, definitely no interest in this race whatsoever.
Yeah.
We do finish off. You nailed the last race for us last week. Let's see if we can do it again. I'm a little bit keen on one. We'll get to that in a second.
Yeah.
What's the pace look like?
Pretty quick here. No drama. I got Roma Avenue up there. Baroque Road, we want to be positive as well. But no drama, led at a quick tempo last out at Canterbury. Roma Avenue will find its usual positive position, and I think they'll inject some good speed into the race, which should suit, I think we agree here with one of my runners, which should suit Up and Under, who was...
Is it out yet?
It's in the race, I'm pretty sure.
No, is it out? Like, it's still out? It hasn't found a run yet?
Yeah. It might get out on Saturday when we back it, I hope. But
oh my God.
It was a sneak. I was hoping sort of everyone would miss the run, but no one missed the run clearly when it went up $4.50. It was a hard luck story first up. Held up, hit the line super strongly. My one sort of negative is I was looking for more distance at its next start. So staying at the 1400 is some concern, but then I think that's offset by getting James McDonald aboard.
Definitely.
And a fast tempo up front, which will make it a strongly run 1400 meters.
Yep.
And it was the one that I wanted to be with. The other one I thought has been racing extremely well is Noble Conqueror from the same stable. Two back down in Melbourne. It was wide, no cover at Sandown, ran really well. Waller had enough of an opinion to bring it up to Sydney. It raced at Canterbury last start where it hit the line. Best last 400, best last 200 of the meeting. Absolutely savaged the line. From 3, I think it gets a nice map just off this speed, and if it's got clear running, I think it can run extremely well. They're the two I'll be playing, Up and Under and Noble Conqueror. How about yourself, Mace?
Mate, I just loved it. So in that race, the Up and Under race, I think we got out to about 30 to 1 late, and I think I had, because I'd watched both of its trials, and I went, fuck, these horses come back good.
Yeah.
Like, it was one of those ones, I went, can it win? Maybe not. Obviously gets out over a trip. There's one that you just have 100 on it just in case it lobs at 30s. And I remember just watching it. Oh, you're bolting. You're bolting. You're not going to get out. You're not getting out. I went, oh my God, what
brutal.
a run.
Yeah.
And it's real. I was just like, it never, he gave it absolute none. It looked like it was having its third trial.
Yeah.
But J-Mac book second up, all the points that you made, totally agree with. It's a little bit of a tough pill to swallow when you get 30s last start, even though you don't have a tiny bet. But and you're looking at $4.50 or like it's out to $5. Like, oh my God.
Yeah.
But I think a lot of the time that can be when you watch horses from the trials and you're a bit of a video watcher and things like that. I think it's the curse of seeing things before they happen.
Yeah.
And you can back things a run or two early because, this horse is going well, but it might not have the right setup or things just didn't go well.
Yeah.
And no, I'll definitely be backing up. I think it'll be very hard to beat. I love the booking of J-Mac. He's just on fire. And
beautiful.
Mate, I'm happy with that.
Lovely. Glad to line up in the last.
Yes, we lined up with our first race and we lined up again here, so that's good.
Unreal.
All right, this week I thought it might be a good idea. I'm going to talk through a few of my bets. And look, they are early. Like I said, sign up to the Discord if you want the cemented, see what we're really on late. These are my early selections. I think we're agreeing on some, disagreeing on maybe one or two others. But I thought let's just talk through them. First one, race 1, number 7, Autumn Glow, Rosehill.
Yeah.
Scratch during the week. Trials have been phenomenal.
Mm-hmm.
I think it was a cheap purchase, 1.8 mil. Yeah,
just
Tommy, our editor, bought it.
Some change in the pocket for Waller.
Yeah, just insane. Doesn't find an easy race. I think horses like Imperial Force have form, get a fix. Definitely has some ability.
Mm-hmm.
I found this the other day. Did tip it, but I do now want to be against it. Dawn Service.
Yep, I'm with you.
I think, I liked it the other day because I think I found a highly winnable race and went up to the 1300.
Yep.
And had the blinkers on, found the leader bias track, was aided by all those things. Look, did win in decent style. I think this horse could have very good ability.
Yeah.
One thing, I do think you want to see some money late for it. I think the money late will be a good tell. I know Waller loves the 52 kilos, though. He's a big fan of finding those races where they're just well suited.
Definitely.
This looks like a set-up job. I know when trainers, I think, get those 1.8, 1 point whatever sort of horses, they love winning their first start. Otherwise, it puts them under a bit of pressure.
Yep.
We're in agreement there.
Yeah, absolutely. Keen to be against Dawn Service for the exact reasons you mentioned.
Yeah. We move on to race 3 at Rosehill. I'm having if J-Mac has a shocker, I could be completely fucked. Tipped this horse the other day. It was a train wreck to watch. Race 3, number 14, into Varsity. I think there's another one on the weekend, and you text me not backing Massara in town again.
No, yeah,
in
I'm
highways.
done with it.
Look, it was a train wreck to watch. The horse it did a bit wrong. I don't think he really, or she, shall I say, liked being inside where she was. I don't think barrier 2 suited her whatsoever.
Yep.
Look, barrier 19 probably. I think it will actually give her time to get moving and get sorted and see where she wants to be.
Mm-hmm.
Might need a little bit of luck, but when you've got J-Mag, he makes his own.
Absolutely.
I definitely think. I think stepping up to the 1300 will suit her as well.
Mm-hmm.
I definitely think the step up to the 1300 will suit. She'll roll forward, find a position. And I think not having horses outside her will suit her.
Yep, beautiful.
Just as long as she's not 4 wide.
Yeah. I know.
We're moving on for me. Race 6, number 2, Gatsby's. We've already spoken about it earlier. Trolled Super. I think it will be winning. Race 8, number 6. Once again, spoke about this in the preview. Tom Kitten. I think it's Trolled Enormous. I love the fact that it's been gelded. I think if it runs to its trial, it will win that race. Race 10, number 8, Up and Under. We just spoke about it also. Total Forgive run. Not ideal that you have to take the $5. Might even get it. I reckon there's a chance this horse could blow a little bit more.
Yeah.
Probably won't get right out because it's got the J-Mac tax.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm hoping that could be the one that closes out for the day. We agree there.
Mm-hmm.
And I've got a little one out wide for us. Kembla, race 1, number 3, King of Thunder. It was a horse you and I both found.
Yeah.
Found a leader-dominated race last start and ran a very gutsy second.
Mm-hmm.
I think the horse trunk that beat it definitely got some ability,
Yeah.
but it was just overly suited. They
some
walked in
favours.
front, things went right for it.
Yeah.
This horse going up to the mile just will suit it down to the ground.
Yep.
And I think it will be winning.
Beautiful.
I think it could be a bit of a lock for us at Kembla.
Love
What have
it.
you got for us?
I got 4 this week. Caulfield, race number 7. I like Arkansaw Kid. I actually think it should be favourite over the current favourite Mautai. I thought Mautai got all favours last start at Flemington, found the right part of the track down the straight, and just kicked off that. I think getting around a bend will be a negative for this horse. I like Arkansaw Kid. Has raced in higher quality races. The jump out was good, and I think the $4.20 currently is value. And then we'll move to Rosehill race 1, Autumn Glow. I'm in agreement with Mace here for all the reasons he said. The trial was good. The price tag was impressive enough, but yeah, I'm also against Dawn Service. I thought it had all favours at Hawkesbury last start. Found its race coming into town now. I think it'll get found out. I'll go to Rosehill race 2, number 1, Peace Officer. I've been waiting for this horse to get Nash aboard. It gets Nash aboard now. It looks like the grand final. This is an easy midway. The 61 kilos looks no problem at all. I think it'll get speed on and should be finishing over the top of them late.
Very nice horse.
Yeah, it does look a sort of a city class horse against sort of midway type runners. And yeah, I've been waiting for Nash to get aboard to say that this is the race that we want to win. And then I'll go to Rosehill race 4, number 8, Lost from the Godolphin stable. I thought this horse won exceptionally well at Warwick Farm. It was just a barrier trial. J-Mac eased it down late and it was still very strong through the line. It looks the one that sort of can go to new levels while the rest of the field look pretty limited. I'm all over Lost.
I'm in agreement. So I loved its win first up. It was over 1,000. It was a funny one. And it got out late in the market. I tipped it as a really I thought it was a moral first up. It's trial was sensational.
Trial was unreal. J-Mac was there
and
soft
it found
on
a race where it looked to be really good pace. One of the horses kind of went back, so and it was just all it had to do was find space.
Yeah.
It won in very good style.
Yep.
I think, and he will probably be about $1.02, but I think J-Mac will get the jockey challenge. And if he doesn't, I could be in a lot of strife.
I think Tab could lose money putting up $1.02. I think just don't put up the market this Saturday.
This way, I might have to lose that sign and sell it if he doesn't win the jockey challenge, because I think I will be backing almost everything that he's on.
Yeah.
I've landed on him in almost every race. I think he will have a massive day.
He's got a top book of rides and they all look to map well. And with J-Mac riding, he's going to put it in the right spot. Perfect example, Schwartz last weekend. He just gave it a 10 out of 10 ride, I thought.
That was a horse I've definitely found.
Yeah, he tipped that well.
Yeah, he's just a better horse than them.
Yeah, he was.
And he was well placed first up. Well done by the stable.
J-Mac gave it a peach.
He gave an absolute peach, but there was 2 strides where I was like, oh, is Tommy right here in the fact of, does he need it? But no, he put his head out. He just prevailed.
I got that one wrong. J-Mac just showed me why he's the best in the business.
Yeah, I mean, and you know what? The horse showed what it could do.
Yeah.
And it goes to show what class can do when it stands up.
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah, definitely.
hopefully the same thing happens with my chookies tomorrow night.
Yeah, would love that, wouldn't you?
Yeah, I would. All right, Tommy, well, thank you. We will be, let's just hope we're going to do the reverse rain dance and hope for some dry tracks, and I will see you next week, hopefully with a lot of cash and J-Mac winning the jockey challenge.
Sounds good, mate.
All right, legend. See you, bud.
What are you prepared to lose today? Set a deposit limit. For free and confidential support, call the number on the screen or visit the website.